It's the thing is that what's being said is that Foundational Black Americans is an organization, and since delineation is popularized now, at first it was a divisive thing. It was popularized, and it became something where at first it was divisive, it was xenophobic, it was seen and was said to us as if it was something that would never ever catch on. Now people are starting to realize delineation is not going anywhere. It's not a phase. It's not something that's not going to catch on. It's here to stay. That's what we're saying. It's here to stay. And a lot of people are triggered by it. And I want to have a conversation with the people who are bothered by it. I want to have a conversation with the people who dislike it. So this is my space to have that conversation with the people who don't like it, the people who are triggered by it, and to ask the people, the Foundational Black American family, why do you think that they are triggered by it? So that's the conversation that we're going to be having, okay? That's the subject of tonight's live stream, all right?
So they're triggered by FBA lineage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And why
They are.
does saying FBA? Because I noticed that some people, and this is something that we're going to talk about. I think we'll have a little bit more time tomorrow. But I noticed that when we talk about foundational Black Americans, when I ask like, "Hey, where are you from?" People, I'm like, "Are you Black American?" They'll be out like, "Well, are you FBA?" They'll be like, "I'm Black American." So there's a reluctance even among people who are FBA, who are Black American, to say FBA because there's like some type of stigma around foundational Black Americans. Sorry, I was reading the chat room. You said you debated consciously. Okay, well, if you debated, can you come up? I would like to talk to you about that. Talk to you about the debate with Consciously, because Consciously has been ducking everybody. Consciously don't want to debate nobody, okay? So I'd like to talk to you about that. And I'd like to ask the community, why are folks triggered by foundational Black American lineage? Why are people triggered by that? Okay. All right, we got the brother who debated Consciously up here. Peace, boo. He's up here. How you doing?
What's good, Brody? How you doing, Afro?
How you doing? I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, man. I've seen you had reviewed the clip of me debating consciously over immigration and not too long ago, maybe about a couple months ago. And I remember in the clip he ended up saying that he was a foundational Black American. So he was kind of contradicting himself, trying to say that we were like anti-immigrant and all that, or xenophobic, when in actuality we just trying to protect what's ours. So I just want to come up here, bro. Say keep doing good work. You know what I mean? I've been seeing you fighting the fight. But yeah, I have been also noticing a lot of people throwing that Black American out there without being specific. Like, are you foundational or not? Because I was just talking about how a lot of Caribbeans and Africans are trying to cosplay Black Americans, like trying to fit in with us when they're really not a part of us. So I do think it's important that we are distinctive and we are specifying like, yo, who are you? Like, who are you? Where your people come from? Give us a background and because that's just what it comes down to. So again, I don't think we xenophobic or anything like that. I just think we focus more on the community. You're doing good work, bro. Keep it up, man. That's all I want to say.
Oh, appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you.
Yep.
And I'm glad. I want to give you a compliment because I'm glad that when he tried to slip you up with, well, I don't believe in what you guys believe in, so am I FBA? You was like, well, yeah. I mean, you're still FBA if you are a part of the lineage, even though the jury's still out because he's still a little weirdly vague around his lineage. He's not really landing. He's very kind of ambiguous. Like, well, no, I'm from Texas. I was born in America. I don't think anybody's questioning where you were born. So he's, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of like kind of vague about
I think he's
that.
doing that on purpose, though. I think a part of consciously he get a kick out of going back and forth with FBA. Like I think a part of him he enjoy it a little bit. Like he try to antagonize us and bait us in, and then once we get him, then he's coming out, guns blazing. So I did look at his profile. I seen his name. They showed his first name, his last name. Lee is his last name. He was a junior. So me too. My biological last name is Lee as well, and I'm FBA. So I do got ties to Texas, mainly like Texarkana, the Arkansas Texas border. He could be FBA, bro. I don't want to sit here and say he not, but he got an FBA name. Like he don't have no foreign type of name. It's FBA as it could be. I think it's like Robert Lee Jr. or something like that. So maybe we do got to do a little more homework on him, figure out who his peoples is, because it's not hard to figure out, you know. So, and that's what I was trying to tell people. People were trying to tell me that Conscious Lee was non-FBA. I'm like, that would have probably came out by now, you know. Like it ain't that hard to kind of. That's 1, 2, 3 generations where we like, you know what I'm saying? So. But did you see what was going on in the Virginia race? They got the Jamaican or the Caribbean lady cosplaying as a FBA. She going against the Democrat. I seen she was losing by like maybe 4 or 5%. So we got to make sure that those kind of people don't get in office. She was the one coming over here talking about her father came with 5 cents and all that type stuff. So it's happening in real time. I do think we need to organize. We need to probably create like a list of non-alt FBAs who are in political seats, and we need to get them out the paint, bro. Like, it's Mando at this point, because like you say, they stopping our reparations, everything we got going on. And I'm just at that point now, bro, where I'm kind of done arguing with people from third world countries and stuff like that. I feel like really it does more for them than it does for us. You know, like they're coming to eat off of what we got going on. And if you look at these panels, even on the algorithm, Afro, it's just, every time I see it, it's just Africans talking about Black Americans. Not as many Caribbeans. I think Caribbeans, I feel like Caribbeans are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because they're from the Americas, but they got more ties to Africa than we do, right? So they're kind of being indirectly pulled in with the Africans, even though we got a beef with the Caribbeans. That's more personal than our beef with the Africans because we all were kind of subjected to the same thing, you know? So I think we need to be very distinctive on, you know, who are our allies and who are not with us. But more Caribbeans, I know they rock with us more than the Continentals do because they was, you know, they went through the same thing we kind of went through, even though it was different countries or whatever it may be. So I'll trust a Caribbean before I ever trust a Continental. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been around Caribbeans. We haven't really been around Africans that long. So it's like, for us, I'm in California, bro. I grew up around every type of race. You know, it's such a melting pot over here. But I never really got to be around foreigners like that. The only foreigners we knew of was like Hispanics, Asians, and stuff like that. We didn't really know about that. The Nigerians and the Kenyans and all that. But now they're everywhere. They got little enclaves in every state. Like Afro, go to Texas, DC, Florida. They deep, bro. So we need to make sure we banding up, we sticking with each other, and we got to weed them out the paint. At the end of the day, they don't have enough numbers for them to even really do anything like to really affect us. I think they're not even 10% of the the Black population in America. So, you know, let them stand on their own, they little 9-8%, and see what they could do with that. We could focus on the 90%, which we are. We're the majority here. So, also seeing something too, Afro, I want you to do some research. Look into the projection of the Black American population in the next 20 to 30 years. We're projected to hit over 100 million people. Like, look it up. Look it up. As of right now, I think we might have just passed the Germans as far as who are the natural born Americans. The Black Americans might have just passed the Germans, where we might be the highest ethnic group in America. And I believe it said by 2050-ish, we should be close to 100 million Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. So as far as people trying to come here saying that they taking over our country, they're invading and all that, that's not happening. And another thing we need to start checking, these foreigners on how they telling us how we should approach white supremacy and how we should deal with the white people that we got a score to settle with. We can't be listening to no foreigners who flee in their homeland telling us how to fight the people in our homeland. We know what we got. And not only that, the white Americans know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? So this is inevitable. This is not something where we looking for some type of cue or some signal or we looking for more people. No, we right here. We got enough right here on this soil and we know the land. See what I'm saying? It'd be different if we was foreigners fighting in the States. We are from the States, so we know the land just as much as they do. See what I'm saying? So whenever everybody trying to cohort us and tell like, oh, well, why ain't y'all talking to the whites? It's like, yo, don't talk. How we deal with the white people is how we deal with the white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how y'all deal with them in y'all homeland, so we're not taking no advice from you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we got to start knitting that in the butt. Like, yo, you're not even qualified to be talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just talking, trying to bait us in and rage bait us and all that. But You know, that's it. I'm gonna land right there, bro. I'm about to go run some errands, man. I appreciate you. I'm gonna definitely tap in with you, Afro, because I got a couple of little things I want to run by you, bro. So keep up the good work. I'm gonna keep
Much
donating.
respect,
God
brother.
bless you.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. Thank you, brother. Hold
For sure,
on.
brother.
Thank you. Yeah, much respect. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so we got some people coming up real quick. Since we ain't gonna be on too long. Yeah, he got some errands to run. He a busy man. All right. I do want to say the thing about Georgia, right? Somebody says they're only here to tell BX something.
Go ahead,
Okay, you
Free
can,
Diddy.
if you want to ask.
I just wanted
That's
to
the
say,
fan. He FBA. Go
I just
ahead.
wanted to say, Tariq was asking for you. He wanted to mod you up. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Oh, so I've been with Afro Elite since day one, and everybody knows besides Tariq, right? Because this is new to me too.
No, he asked for
That
him
when
too.
Afro wait, when Afro Elite goes live, I leave every stage I'm on. I've been with Afro Elite since day one. The first time he hit live on that button, me, nobody, Shavu, and our little crew that we had going on, was like, modest, modest, modest. And I'm the only one still standing. I'm head mod here. But tell Tariq he could save me a wrench. I think he gets about 30 wrenches he could give out. Save one for the old girl. But right now, I'm going to ride this out with Afro Lee because he's not going to be up too long. And then I'll come over there if Tariq is still alive.
Salute, BX. Gotcha.
Salute. Thank you.
Shout out to that. Yeah, we've been on here.
Yeah.
We've been on here for a good minute, and we've had people come and go. We've
Yeah.
had people come and go, but we here, so that's good. Let's get to Melanie. Melanie's sister, how you doing, beloved?
Hey Afro, could y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, shout out to everybody on the panel. I am Melanie. I'm monoracial and monoethnic black FBA from Chicago, West Side, the best side.
All right.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just wanted to say something really fast about like the immigrants and the white people that come in our spaces. I just hate when a lot of them, play dumb or make it seem like they don't know what we're talking about or willfully being ignorant on the subjects that we be talking about. And at this point, me personally, I'm not saying nobody else, I'm just going to stop saying they're playing dumb and just admit that they are just ignorant in a way. Like some of the topics and subjects that we be talking about are culture. They're very uncultured. And I don't know if they just don't understand or they willfully trying to misunderstand us to like derail the conversation or to not like edify us or even have that conversation so we could grow and like intellectually sharpen us. I don't know if it's a tactic that they're using or they just really uncultured and dumb as fuck. And that's all I really want to say.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up because you have people in the chat room right now being all like, what is FBA Foundational Black American? And they know what FBA is. So a lot of them, they come up here, they act as if Lineage is a brand new thing, a brand new term that we just invented, and they act like they don't have absolutely no idea what we're talking about and about how we're a different ethnic group and how we're not African and how all of this stuff. They act like they have no idea of that. And they will come here and they will waste their time with a lot of bad faith arguments. A lot of their questions are disingenuous. You're absolutely correct about that. A lot of them are, and a lot of them are time wasters as well too. And the whole thing, it shows why what we're doing is so important because they'll be all like, "Can't we all get along? Can't we all get along?" And look, man, can't we all get along? Here's what I say: anytime somebody says, "Can't we all get along?" I say, "Get along for what? Get along for what? Get along to do what?" Okay. Should we all just gather up in a great big crowd and then just sing kumbaya? No, that's not what you want. So get along for what is the goal? And see, that's the difference between us and them. Okay. Because our goals are not aligned. Okay. Not all, but a lot of them Our goals are not aligned. It doesn't matter if you're from here or not from here or whatever the case is, because we got riders. But the thing is that we cannot any longer just assume that somebody who has the same skin tone and the same facial features is a rider like that. We can't just assume that. Okay. And this is the problem that we've been making because we've assumed that all skin folk is kinfolk. We've set a foundation up for them to come over here and then do what they want to do. And instead of what's in our best interest, they do what's in their best interest. Okay. And this doesn't have to mean all, but this means that it's enough of them to be a problem that needs to be addressed. And it's a problem that needs to be addressed, truth be told, because we have allowed it, even though we've been manipulated, we have allowed it to get to that level. We have allowed it to get to that level because we've been thinking that the more the merrier, the more people who come and join our ranks and the more people who come and we're friends and family with everybody, the more powerful we become. And now we're learning that our thought process was actually working backwards. The more isolated, okay, and the more rather isolated, the more focused we are, and exclusive we are, and selective we are, the more powerful we are, okay? Because power by definition is something that's selective anyway, that's exclusive anyway. And this does not mean that you reject anybody who's not from your nationality. This doesn't mean that. But this does mean that there needs to be an order. When the brother Peace Buoy, when he was up here and he was talking about he doesn't trust certain people from the diaspora versus other people. And somebody in the chat room was all like, I don't trust tethers at all, period. Well, no, tethers are never to be trusted. Now, the thing is that nobody is saying that every single immigrant, every single last one of them is a tether. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that being born in Jamaica by default makes you a tether, or Haiti or Nigeria by default makes you that way. Tethers are never to be trusted. Is anybody saying that all immigrants are tethers? Absolutely not. However, even the ones who are not tethers, listen, even the ones who are not, they still have a place, okay? As far as being our representative, they still can't do that. They could be riders. They could be solid to the core, to the absolute core. They still have a place. We still can't let them be our representatives. We still can't let them lead the march. No, you got a role, and your role is in the back, respectfully. But your role is in the back and setting up and helping out there. Your role is not in the front where the cameras are and all of that stuff. So as far as politicians go and stuff like that, this is what we have learned, because we need to be represented by people who's of the lineage and loyal to the lineage. So this is where a lot of people's stances are when it comes to politics is concerned. Let's get my brother Hood Jedi.
What's up, bro?
Go on.
I'm good, bro. I just want to give you your props and let Auntie know I love her, and I'm so glad we're moving the conversation forward because I'm tired of having these arguments. And to me, I'm so glad BX they gave me some wisdom one day, bro, because I was like, it really stressed me out, bro, because if it wasn't for this movement, I've been pro our people for 10 years, but if it wasn't for this movement, I wouldn't have had certain conversations with my grandma to find out about both of my lineage, FBA and indigenous, because I found out that was some of my maternal side of my grandma was here before with the so-called Indians. So the thing that pissed me off is and I'm glad BX had checked me. She like, yo, we don't even owe them no explanation. Like, they're literally coming into the live just to cause chaos, to distract us, because at the end of the day, like you said, bro, it's almost like the system of white tea supremacy where they can, like you said, and there's no offense, but it's almost like they can exist within the system without existing in the system that indirectly affects us. And if they're unaware of it, then they're going to indirectly affect us because they're existing within the system. Like, to your point, if they're not a direct tether, they can be an indirect tether if they're not paying attention and knowing their place in the in the movement or their role as an ally, so to speak. So I'm just so glad, man, that I'm just glad I found this platform because it's not everybody having these conversations. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all.
Let me harp on that. Let me harp on that. And I like the fact that you brought that up because the direct tether and the indirect tether is a really good talking point because that also goes, we have, our turncoats and sambos and bootlicks and stuff like that. And then we have people who directly do that. And then you have people who enable that. Those are two different things. All right. The direct tether are people who are like in politics, who veto reparations. That's like the Wes Moore. That's like the Brian Donalds. Those are the people who are deliberately doing things like Yvette Clark and them. Those are the people who are deliberately doing things. Okay. The Obamas and stuff. Those are the people who are deliberately in play doing certain things. The indirect tether are the people who, when we try to call them out for their behavior, they get to, oh, well, no, it's not really that bad. I think you guys are overreacting. They play defense. They don't, a lot of times they might not do the harmful action, but when we call out the harmful action, here they come trying to play defense. Here they come trying to be like, oh, why y'all gotta be so divisive? Why is it, what is so much xenophobia? Anytime we try to call them out for their tethered behavior, they'll come out and they'll play defense for that. Okay, so there's two different types. So we got to acknowledge the fact that there's levels to it, but all of them are problematic and all of them need to be handled and dealt with. Okay. But intellectually speaking, I'm not advocating anything by them, but just intellectually speaking, they need to be called out.
I had a question.
Yes.
Do you think they play defense or get defensive because they movement is literally to undermine us? Like we can't even work together
It's so
because it actually contradict their movement. So
it's
do you think that's why? Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, I thought you. I thought you was finished. Go ahead. My phone mute up.
No, it was just a question I was asking. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's crazy you saying that, right? It's crazy, sister. I promise you, it's crazy. That's why I had to jump in real quick because it threw me off because I was doing something else, but I was listening. I promise you, I got a Jamaican follower who invites me to the African lives where they will literally come in our room and say, why y'all don't get along? And say the same exact thing that the brother Afro just said. Say, oh, it's xenophobia. And then we'll go into their lives and it'll be a Somalian calling a Nigerian dirty and saying he's only known for flies and flip-flops and that they're not the same people and that they're not Christian or you're not Muslim and you're not us and why are you calling yourself black or why are you calling yourself African when you're Benin and you need to worship the Benin culture. And so they're hypocrites. So to your point, yeah, they come in just to divide us and be agents of chaos to BX's point to me that allow me to stop giving the energy and stressing myself out.
Well, and to also answer that question, I do think that they are, well, it is evident that some of them, are doing that. There's really two reasons. Reason one is because they are doing that because they do see a benefit. And they do understand that there is a benefit in their immigrant lineage, their foreign lineage being over here and kind of colonizing. That's essentially what they are practicing, the practices of colonization. And then there are people who their feelings get hurt. If you say something about their homeland, whether that's messed up or not, their feelings get hurt. Let me get to the point number one. Point number one, let's look at Essence Fest. Remember how they were gaslighting us when we said that Essence Fest was them practicing cultural erasure. They was like, what do you mean? Why can't we all get along? But they all knew. None of them were dumb. None of them were dumb, but they liked the fact that Nigeria was the highlight. According to Essence, Nigeria was the focal point. That was the highlight. All right. And they like the fact that the Caribbean is highlighted over foundational Black Americans. So when we called that out, they were playing dumb, and they don't want us to have this lineage division because they want a smooth transition into being the eye of the show. They want a smooth transition, and and the only way they can do it is if we allow it to happen. They want us to allow their colonization, essentially. So that's why when we say, no, we got to delineate, no, this is our culture, no, this is not from hip hop, is not from the Caribbean, hip hop is not from Africa or Puerto Rico, wherever you guys are trying to call it. Hip hop is foundational Black American. They don't like that because you're shutting the door, and they're trying to essentially push us out the room, and we're pushing them. We're creating boundaries and barriers to prevent them from taking any more and actually reclaiming our stuff back. You also have people who, if you say, let's be honest, there's a lot of messed up stuff that goes on in the Caribbean, and this isn't meaning that everybody from the Caribbean is messed up, but the truth is the truth. And in order to solve any problem, you have to first acknowledge it. So when we say, "Hey, well, what's going on with all that paternity fraud in Nigeria?" They'll be all like, "Oh my God, you're hurting my homeland," because a lot of them, truth be told, they suffer from ethnic low self-esteem. A lot of them do, and that's not our fault, but they do. And anything. Which is why they always, oh man, my homeland is great. My homeland is great. And I'm wearing a flag on my necklace and all that. I love my homeland so much. That's kind of like to cope with their low ethnic self-esteem. And anytime you say, well, actually, Nigeria is really not, they ain't really got it like that. There's parts of Nigeria that don't got electricity, don't got plumbing. That crushes the high horse that they were on, the illusion of the high horse, because that lets it be known that, hey, this illusion, this facade that you're from this Wakanda country, that we don't buy that. Nobody believes that. And it makes them have to face the painful reality of where they're from. And it makes them have to look in the mirror, and because of their low ethnic self-esteem, they don't want to do that. Now, the thing is that, like I said before, their low ethnic self-esteem is not our fault. We didn't do that to them, okay? And it's not, so because we did not do that to them, it's not something that we can fix for them. We can't fix that for them. They have to fix that for themselves. But in order to do that, they have to first come into the reality and the acceptance of their problem. They can't do that if they're consistently in denial of how bad their people's condition is. This is why, and I'm not trying to beat nobody up or bully anybody, but this is why you can look at situations like Nigeria. Why is Nigeria so bad? Y'all coming over here, y'all becoming doctors, nurses, and doing all this great stuff, talking about how much better you guys are doing, but we don't see that result in Nigeria. We don't see that in Nigeria. And y'all really want to be like the highlight of Africa and how great everything is, instead of realizing that, hey, we got some cultural issues that we have to fix. And they get
Afro.
offended by it.
Can I say this? I got two things to say. I'm gonna be real quick. Donnie on timeout. I know you used to identify as a Pan-African and used to come against FBA. I want to know why you suddenly changed. You could feel free to come up and take a mic. It would be interesting to know your experience and what has you doing what's it called, a 360. I think we need to know why you're doing the 360, because I noticed you're ignoring my comments. I want to say this. So I attended the AADP, a community feedback meeting. That means the African American Day Parade, right? Because we figured, let's go and request some changes. You know, people don't necessarily like the name or the RBG elements and stuff. I'm gonna just give a brief synopsis so I don't take too much time. Everything was fine until a Black American said she was Black American and would like more inclusivity of Black American culture, meaning the Black American heritage flag, more Black American music, more Black American elements, and not so much the RBG. And so then we all kind of, backed her up with I'm foundational Black American. But so here was my issue and what I started seeing. Was it your live Afro that there was a Jamaican lady saying, well, Black American culture is like culture for everybody. Meanwhile, Jamaicans can have their own ethnic autonomy. Nigerians can have their own ethnic autonomy, stuff like that. So they've had free reign to just be their little African American, Pan African selves. They went to latching on to enslavement as if African American was always the term that we went by. They said absolutely no name changes because they are a nonprofit organization, but they will allow us the platform to rent a float and to come over there and wave our flags as we wish, but won't be no name changes. The way that he was talking, though, he's an elder, and I was saying that's what the young ones be saying. And sorry if y'all are in y'all 30s and I'm calling y'all young, right? Sorry. But my children are 30, right? So that's what the younger generations are telling us, like me, who's willing to sit and listen to the younger generation, that some elders are really stuck in their ways. There were people saying they didn't see nothing wrong with West Indian music being played at the parade and stuff. So I basically was telling them, well, I just found out today Nigerians got their own flag. Not saying they don't, I mean their own parade in New York. Not saying that I don't see the RBG flag or the American flag or the Black American Heritage flag, but I ain't see them in the images that were sent to me. The Puerto Ricans have a parade. The West Indians have a parade. The Dominicans have their own parade. They all have their ethnic autonomy. And that's what foundational Black Americans want. And then another guest speaker, a reparationist, Brooke, Brooke, Afro Elite, she was saying, this name needs an update. And so I think that it's best if foundational Black Americans keep attending those meetings so we can know who's doing what. They're nominating foreigners to be like grand marshals and stuff. But if we are in the room, then we'll be able to nominate FBA who deserve to be honored at, African American Day Parade. So what we're finding is when it was established, that term was specifically for us who descend from United States chattel slavery. But I think Brother Divine gave a date of 1997 is when it started including everybody else. They're not allowing us our own autonomy and they're giving pushback to certain things, but we will still be able to go out there and wave our flag and walk with a banner and stuff. There goes Brooke. Brooke, if you want to come up and give your perspective on the meeting, I'd appreciate it because I ramble on and on and on and on. But that's what we're up against. They want to latch onto us so much. They think our culture should be exploited. Meanwhile, they have their own, what we're going to call ethnic autonomy. And that's what FBA is pushing for. So it's not so much, hi, Honey Blossom, is that you're African, right? I think she's I want to say she's East African. I don't know what country right now, but yeah. So we just want our own ethnic autonomy. When I got the pictures of the Nigerian parade, they said, "What is going on in New York?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm on my way to this meeting. I'm gonna let you know what happened." And so that's what we're going through in diverse cities. They won't give us our own ethnic autonomy. Okay, hi, Honey Pat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let you talk to BX, but we got a few people who've been waiting for a little bit, so we're gonna get to those people real quick. And
Good morning, Blue.
yeah, we're gonna actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop you off real quick. I'm gonna let our sister Brooke come up, but thank you, brother. Appreciate you always.
Yeah.
Tariq, shout out to Tariq. Okay, he said Tariq just gave me a huge shout out. Shout out to Tariq. That's my brother, man.
Yeah.
All right. ZZ, how you doing?
Hi, CZ.
Oh, I'm good, beloved. How are you all?
ZZ, how you doing?
What the heck was that?
Oh, that's the echo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how are y'all? I'm good.
Damn, she looking pretty.
Look
Oh,
at
thank you
that
so
man.
much, sir.
Look at that
I
man.
appreciate that. I just got off work, been working hard, slaving, weirdo, okay, serving and all that shit. But Yeah, it's a long day. I'm not gonna be here long. I gotta get up. I ain't even took a shower yet. I just walked in the door a little while ago. So yeah, and I gotta work in the morning. But it's good to be here. Shout out to the panel. What exactly are we talking about? I was got a little confused.
Well, because on TikTok, there's been a lot of lives of people who are triggered about FBA, saying that this is an organization meant to divide. Some people are even saying it's COINTELPRO. So, the same talking points are starting to come up again. And they're trying to, a lot of them are trying to pit, they're not successful, but they're trying to pit the Sulan versus FBA. Oh, FBA don't like Sulan and stuff like that. So they're desperately trying to create some type of division. There are also people who are trying to instigate a situation between FBA and American Indians.
Okay.
That's been going on.
Okay. Sound like some tether behaviors going on here. Sabotage, CIA type thing. Yeah, not surprising though. Again, this is what happens when something effective is happening. That's how you know that the delineation movement is real. This is really something that's happening on a grassroots level and spreading very fast. So that's not surprising that something like that's happened. But you know what? It's funny because they love to move the goalposts and use stuff when they like. See, they let us say, oh, well, Tariq, I just see them say Tariq shouted you out too. That's all right. Shout out to Tariq. But oh yeah, Tariq's the leader. He's the leader. But then conveniently, when you see Tariq he follows the brother who made Sulan. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? They cool. They like, yeah, FBA, Sulan, but conveniently, I want to ignore that and say, oh yeah, no, it's not the same. There's problems. And then, so they know what they're doing. This is just sabotage. We have to make the lines clear, baby. We know who we are. Shout out to the Sulan, FBA, American Indians. Baby, we all one. Shout out to us. Okay. So there is no separation that's happening. As long as we continue to make that narrative clear, it's only so much that bullshit is going to work. They're going to keep the white tea supremacists. Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the white tea supremacists are going to continue to send their pawns, man. They're going to continue to evolve the tactics as this delineation movement gets heavier, and spreads more. So I mean, it's a part of the game. It is what it is. But sorry, my manager called. He decides to call me at 1:30 in the morning. This is the shit I be dealing with. Yeah, shout out to FBA, man. We all the same. Man, anybody got time for that? Shout out to the Sulan. I'm Sulan. And FBA. What the hell are you talking about? FBA, Sulan, American Indian. What are we saying? Like, yeah, we know who we are. So yeah, let's not feed into the confusion.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh boy, what am I doing? Oh no. Oh. This is one thing that I need to figure out how to. Okay, anyway, yes, indeed. Now, I know we do have a line. I'm going to be a little bit biased, just a little bit, not that much, but just a little bit. So we're going to let Brooke go ahead, and we're going to hear what Brooke has to say.
Let me step by. I got to call my manager again.
Okay,
I might hop back in now.
Yeah. Brooke, are you with us?
Gotta give her a second because she's new to TikTok. There she
Okay.
goes.
Hello?
Hey, Brooke, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi everybody. How are you?
Hi, Brooke.
Hi. I just came up. I didn't really have anything to say, but you said that you would appreciate it if I came up, so I came up because you asked me to.
I just wanted you to give Afro just a brief synopsis of what you thought about the meeting that we went to today.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that BX got a firsthand reason on why I was saying that in New York we need to move a little bit more stealth. They got to see firsthand some of the things that we have been dealing with and how we are outnumbered when we're dealing with them. And for that reason, I have requested that, especially for something like this meeting, this was not a public hearing where it is mandated by law that we speak. This was, these are private citizens who put on this parade, and they've been, some people have been doing it for decades. So I knew that this was going to have to be a situation where we couldn't come and like I said, these are private citizens who are doing this on their time off. These are not politicians. So I knew that this wasn't a situation that we could necessarily go in there hot, because we're trying to convince other people to come to our side. Like I said, these are not politicians, right? So you have to have strategy. People questioned my strategy, but I think they understood what I meant tonight. And not BX, of course. BX has been extremely supportive of my strategy from the time she heard it. And I definitely appreciate her support. But there was others who were not supportive of my strategy. But like I said, they got their own tonight. So like I said, we just have to move stealth. After everything, it's nothing that I'm not unaccustomed to seeing. What I wanted and what we accomplished was, I wanted one meeting where we could state what we needed to state clearly without having a ton of opposition. Now, we still had opposition, but had we promoted more, I think the opposition would have been more, and louder, and that's less of an opportunity for us to talk. So, and us to get our points across, and for us to show that, that this is really, if this isn't, that's the question. Is this supposed to be about us? Or is this a Pan-African parade? Like, is it, what's the name? Well, whose parade is it? So, these are some of the things that we are working through. And like I said, after everything was said and done, they seem to be very open to listening and hearing what else we have to say, and so I'm open to continue to speak with them. I'll be continue to go into the meetings and everything like that. And my mission was accomplished. And so, as I've said before, anybody in my way, foreign or domestic, will be mowed down. And I'll end right there.
Brooke, can I ask you just one question? Are those
Yes,
two
ma'am.
men on the reparations committee?
No, none of
No.
them.
Okay.
As a
'Cause he
matter of
looks
fact, the
familiar.
majority of them were FBA. The young lady who was in the white, she was FBA. The tall gentleman who basically was the facilitator, he's FBA. The other guy in the cream suit, he's FBA. So we got those for sure. We know those people are for sure FBA. So they don't quite understand what everything is, but they're learning. And they took a picture with they made sure to let us know that they're up on some things, you know what I'm saying? Because they as a group, they took a picture with the Black American Heritage flag. They made sure to let us know that. So, so we're just going to continue to work with them and see what we can do moving forward. And I'm glad that, like I said, I accomplished my goal. So anybody else, they could.
Was the meeting recorded?
Funny you should say that, BX. What you got?
Yeah, I was the one recording, and they was calling me out, but I was there with my kid. I'm really pressed though. I'm like independent journalist. I do have 2 degrees in journalism, 1 in entertainment business. So I am grassroots journalism. This was my first in-house because I did a lot of social media activating. But as Brooke and DW so eloquently states, please, if y'all not coming to back us up in person, please be quiet and don't get on us. You know what I'm saying? So this time, my kids are grown, and it is time to show my support. Even if I'm sitting there saying, "Get them, Brooke, get them," get them, Devon, get them. But as long as I was there, I spoke up. My son was there too, and he didn't like it. He was like, "People don't know how to debate," and they like he doesn't. He is bi-ethnic, right? And when it's calm and nobody's coming for Black Americans, he's like, I care about the Jamaican flag and the Black American flag. But when he sees them coming after foundational Black Americans, he's like, hold on, wait, they doing too much. Because at the end of the day, he was raised by his foundational Black American mother and his foundational Black American grandfather. So, not to throw him under the bus and stuff. Okay. He up there screaming, "I love y'all more." But yeah. So it was very interesting. I got to see what we were up against. I do think that we do have to keep going to the parade, to the meeting, so we could tap into the organizations who are going there. I noticed they also I think two were foreign that they made like grand marshals of the parade and stuff. At least we'll be in there to give nominations of foundational Black Americans. We don't have to support foreigners at our event. Like I said, they also have Nigerian Day Parade, this parade, that parade. But Black Americans, we got to share with everybody, and they think it's normal. Well, we're Black too. They was in the hallway telling, well, West Indian music is fine. They're Black too. I was like, but they have their own parade. What aren't these people getting? You know? So I think that I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna land Afro. I think the more that we show up and we are asking FBA from outside of New York to attend and support us with their flags and their Juneteenth apparel, that the name will change itself before it becomes official. Because everybody, when we're talking, we're like, yeah, we went to the Foundational Black American Day Parade, or we went to the Black American Day Parade. I think that's the only way, not the only way, but one of the ways we could combat it, as long as we keep showing up and calling it what we want it to be called.
Yeah,
That's a form of manifestation anyway. Yeah.
I agree. Because and that socializes people to
And like I said,
become used to the new name. You were saying, Brooke?
and like I was saying earlier, they're very open. They're very open. You know, it didn't seem that way at the time, but they're very open to having discussions with us. We stayed later and spoke to them. You know, but like BX got to see, there was someone who knows us from an intellectual pull-up that I and President Divine and Sister Keisha and Brother Tad and Brother Sage actually participated in. And so this woman was here as well. So she, to me, was the main one that was just trying to make you turn the situation into something that it really wasn't, you know. And so, you know, I say all that to say we're confronting people in real time and in real life. And due to that, there are going to be times when there are going to be situations or things that happen that I'm going to ask if we could not promote publicly. Because unfortunately right now, you know, everybody's in the space. And after the fact, I have no problem talking about certain things publicly. But beforehand, just so that we could have the upper hand, there's going to be times that I will ask if we can be more stealth. And like I said, BX has been extremely understanding of that. But, you know, I'm just kind of sharing that to others so that I won't get the pushback that I got this time. And then we're just going to continue. So like I said, this is, I got some audio. I was not able to, because I knew that pulling out my camera was not going to create the environment that I wanted to produce, because I know how they were going to react. So I did get audio. So I'm going through that, and surprisingly, it's not too bad either. So I'll go through some of it, because even my personal conversations got captured on said audio, so I'll have to go through that. But yeah, so this woman was somebody who popped up from another event. They had an event in East Flatbush, which is a very Caribbean area that I grew up in. And they had an event where it was supposed to be a diaspora conversation. And you know, why is there a divide? And you know, we heard about it and we popped up on them, and we kind of embarrassed her intellectually. And so because of that, you know, she then called us agents. It's so crazy, because that word agent is being thrown around so much. The agents are now calling us agents in real life, not just online. But the way I was able to get my point across, she ended up looking stupid at the end because she's unable to get her point across. She's a plebiscite babbling round the mulberry bush, pocket full of posies, having Pan-African. And everybody could hear that she was just babbling and babbling about nothing. So if you would like to see, if you would like to see the intellectual pull-up, you can see that on BX knows Keisha's thing on Thorough Black Talk. We definitely destroyed them intellectually. If you would like to see that, it's definitely something to watch. And you'll see why she was so mad. BX, did you know who that was? That's who that was?
I figured it out when she was saying, and I said what I said, and you was like, y'all don't realize, but she talking to me. I was like, oh. So
because I was telling her, she was like, yeah, they showed up at my event. I said, yeah. I said, and get used to my face. You will see me everywhere. You see learn my face, ma'am. So yeah, it was it got a little heated, but like I said, the actual people with the parade, they were very nice at the end of the day. I look forward to working with them in the future. There are also legal things that are in the back end too that she was explaining to me about the name. You know what I mean? That they already have a nonprofit in this name. They already have a lot of legal things in this name. So, it's not going to be just as easy as changing the name or whatever, but they are open to conversations. I said maybe we could do a slash, a hyphen, something, because I do understand the legal part of that. And we have to be understanding of that as well, that they have carried that name for what 50 years now? And so the name garners respect in New York already. Due to that. So, so there's nuances that we're going to talk about. And like I said, they were very nice. And at the end of the day, very gracious. The other people, I can't say too much. And I'll end right there. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for keeping us informed. First off, thank you for your advocacy. Thank you, MBX, for your advocacy and coming up here, giving us your perspective and keeping us informed. We appreciate that. And we'll definitely be in touch so we know, more about what's going on with the family in New York and the parades and all of that stuff to make sure we're properly represented.
Yeah. Afro, I gave you Keisha's link. I said, here, you got to watch this, Afro. I said, you got to watch it. You didn't watch it yet, did you? It was a YouTube link. I said about the Pan-Africans and how they had FBA in their mouth until FBA pulled up. I know you're busy. I'll send it to you again, though.
I think I did see. Okay, which one? You're typing.
Black Talk Worldview has gracious stage. Her name is Keisha, and she tells a lot about New York City and New York State, rather, Pan-Africanism and things, how we carried that movement, actually fought the cops for these other demographics, and they can't even write a letter of support and stuff. So I sent you a link to her page. I'll send it again for you, though, because I know I'll be sending a lot of messages. I'll be sending all these posts like, look, Afro, look, Afro. So a lot of times we try to get a topic.
I don't be ignoring you. I know people send me a lot of stuff, and I love y'all, but people send me a lot of stuff, and I can't watch everything. But I did open that, so I do know what you're talking about. I didn't get to the point where FBA's pushed back, but yeah, they were kind of like colonizing. They were colonizing, because this is the practice of what they're doing. It's a practice of colonization, erasing an ethnic group's roots or trying to deroot a specific ethnic group's culture or history is a practice of colonization. Everywhere they've gone, they've done that. So this is something that we assume can only be done by people who are European. But this practice we're now realizing is actually being done by the diaspora, people within the diaspora. So this is why we have to call that out. Because essentially it is the same practice. And we can't tolerate that from anybody.
Yeah, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We're not going to be on super long, super late. So we're going to get to Laya and then Sugar.
Hey, thank you for having me up. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how some of these non FBA people, like, they are so delusional, and then they think that they're better than us. And then the minute we have a sense of pride, or we just doing better for ourselves, they want to, include themselves into it. Like, it was a whole Chewbacca over here on TikTok because of that new "Sexy Salon" song, and everybody want to claim that they Salon now. But just a week ago, you said American blacks ain't got no culture, which is insane. So I just don't get it. I believe that it is some jealousy because they claim we ain't got no culture, but we are, our culture is basically influential worldwide, and they know this. Where our stuff goes to Asia, parts of Africa, and the Caribbean. Everybody is trying to cop our style and cop our culture. And they know this, and they are upset because they don't really have a culture like that. So, you know, it's insane. But that's all I wanted to say.
It is, and a part of them, and like I was saying, as far as the ethnic, the low ethnic self-esteem, a part of what they're doing is trying to tether themselves into our culture by being like, well, no, well, technically there was a super ancient African tribe that did that thing first, so technically that comes from Africa, and everything of our culture that's really significant in our culture, oh well, no, because 200, 300, 700 years ago, there was one African tribe that had a gold tooth. So technically, grills come from. They keep trying to do that, and as a way to make themselves more relevant by leeching onto our culture,
Hmm.
and we just can't allow that to happen either. And this isn't to even be disparaging on them. But like because we are the highlight of our culture is the highlight of the world,
Hmm.
that's not our responsibility to share that attention with y'all. It's not. And it's not our fault that you guys are upset that you don't have it. It's not that our fault either.
That is facts.
Can I can I comment to that, or you going to the next person?
Yeah, real quick, and then we'll get to sugar.
No, no, go ahead. I'll say for the end. It's okay.
Okay, all right. Let's get to sugar. You got it. Sugar, you can unmute yourself. Okay, well, Sugar's not with us then. Okay, that's fine. All right. Melanie, you can go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
I'll be quick because I don't want to, mix people space and line. I was just basically going to say, and the fact that they're trying to make it seem like our culture is being shared with everyone, it just don't have significant relevancy, or it's not really culture. But really, when culture is being shared, that's your capital. That's really like showing how influential and powerful you are as a people when your culture is greatly wanted, like in high demand. So they're trying to flip it and make it seem like, oh, since everybody want our culture, it don't have no relevancy or is not significant. When really, when no one don't want your culture, it's really showing like you not like an influential person. You're not a powerful person. They just trying to flip it on his head and make us not want it because they want to take it. And the fact that it's globally empowering people and helping them become better, get money, get richer, X, Y, and Z by using our culture to gain capital, that means that we are a powerful people. But they trying to make it seem like, oh well, you don't have no sacred customs in your culture, which is not true because they don't know like the little details and in and outs of our culture. They just know the things that's on mainstream media. So they are projecting a lot of their insecurities onto us. And like the lady Keisha was saying, like we do need to be more low key or underground with our culture because that exclusivity definitely brings a powerful movement within our culture, because a lot of times when we do things underground or secretly, that's when our culture and our ethnic group move forward powerfully, when everyone don't know our ins and outs of what we're going to do. So I do agree with that, and that's always been a part of our culture to do things like underground or low key or in secret. Our whole culture is basically built on that. If you really look at the details of like us surviving white supremacy, we did it very quietly and underground. So I do agree and understand what she's saying and where she's coming with that. And we could just let our people know who don't understand why we need to become more exclusive and more low key and hush hush about our culture. It's because it's gonna give us power and like catapult us to the next level that we need to go. And I'll land. I'm long winded. Sorry.
I appreciate that. And let me jump on that real quick. Then we're going to get to Black Vanguard. Then my brother Black Vanguard and my brother Shabu is in the building. So we're going to get to them. But let me harp on that. When you look at the Japanese culture, everybody, huh? You said what?
No, this ain't Shabu.
Halo, what you? Halo. Okay.
I
Okay.
be taking over his page. My bad.
Okay. Okay. Well, we gonna get to my sister Halo then. Okay, but like when you look at the Japanese culture, Japanese, they're known for like the samurai stuff, the katanas. It's very popularized that people like the ninja stuff, but they've made their culture so exclusive that they call everybody else's katana, which is just a type of sword, a fake katana. It is not considered a real katana unless an actual Japanese swordsmith makes it. They do not recognize that as real. And that's something that they do to gatekeep and set boundaries, even on things that are popularized. And this is something that I'm glad we're starting to do. Like, yeah, maybe you can rap in the UK, but that's not really hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We need to get into the practice of being all like, calling other things that people do of ours knockoffs. The same way that the Japanese call certain things katanas made outside of Japan or outside of swordsmith masters, they call them knockoffs, all of them. No matter how good the metal is, no matter how good the craftsman is, if it's not made authentically by a swordsmith, it's a knockoff. And and I'm glad that we're starting to kind of get into that culture. I'm gonna tell you this. I was a little worried when Tutnese was not discovered, but when people were starting to talk about, oh, there was an ancient language, Black American language, Tutnese. I'm all like, oh Lord, here's gonna be a whole bunch of people sitting up there like, I can teach you guys Tutnese. I can teach you guys. I was worried about that. I was. But I was so pleased to see that we stood on business. Even the people who know Tutnese know not to talk, know not to teach no Tutnese. The people who know it, there'll be some Leo know Tutnese very well. He be speaking Tutnese. He don't tell nobody about that if you're not a part of the lineage. Okay? I had a whole book that was sent to me privately through emails, all right, about it. I'm gonna tell y'all this one thing. There was this one at the time, I was cool with this guy. He was Haitian. I knew it at the time. I was on a three-way conversation with a dude who was my friend at the time, who was Haitian, and then the FBA man. And we were talking about it. And then the Haitian dude, he was all like, yeah, man, there's a lot of gatekeeping about the Tutnese language. I can't find anybody who knows it or wants to teach it. I had a whole book on the Tutnese language. And I was like, and he was my friend at the time. I was like, damn, I don't know. I don't know where you would find such a thing. I don't know. And then he got off the phone. And then I was talking to the other FBA dude. I was like, I got a book on it. I'll share it with you, but I ain't gonna let him know I got it. There's still a limit. We can't be sharing everything with everybody. Even the non-FBAs we cool with, there's still like that's the out of line a little bit. You're stepping out your place, son. I can't share no Tutnese with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I can't even let you know I know it. Folks don't even know I know. Well, I guess you do not. But folks don't even know that. We stepping out of line. We shouldn't even let people know we know stuff to a degree. So I'm glad we starting it. We getting right. We getting it together. Let's get to FBA or Black Vanguard. How you doing?
Yeah, but folks triggered by FBA Lineage. Yeah, of course, folks is actually triggered by that because
You okay? What's going on?
they're not you. No. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, I was double checking, make sure because this app been glitchy lately though. But
You breaking up real bad. Oh, okay, okay. It might be me. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, these tellers they real mad because I noticed the last 48 hours they've been silent. Like the I forgot this woman named like that JR person from Cameroon. You had I forgot these other trolls and tethers names. You had Cure is real. You had all these tethers though. They quiet now. They ain't saying a word now. They real silent. That South African woman, not Nera. She's real quiet and silent now. A lot of these tethers though, since Tyra now she been on space clearing a lot of disinformation. These tethers and Democratic shields been spilling online on TikTok. These people have been quiet for the last 48 hours. But that's good. We delayed though because they can't no longer say they black and get our benefits a little more. Like, well, I went to Japan. I'm glad you brought up Japan because I just came back from Japan actually last week. A lot of Japanese people started delineate between foundational Black Americans and Africans, though. Now they start saying, "Oh yeah, you ain't no Black American." Well, I went to the airport and entered Japan through the immigration wherever immigration process you have to go through Japan. I got in immediately. One of the immigration people remember me for last time I went over to Japan. They said, yeah, I remember from last time. I go right in and they asked me no questions. But it was a couple Africans, like looked like they're from West Africa, somewhere like Ghana, Nigeria. They seen they had a Nigerian passport. They started asking a whole bunch of questions. Then they didn't let them in because over there in Japan, they do all this criminalistic stuff in these other foreign countries, and they say they're black. When people talk about black, they talk about foundational Black Americans. So this delineation movement is cause a ripple effect. Other people from all over the world starting to know between the foundational Black American and the non-foundational Black American in these other foreign countries. And that's actually a good thing. That's why they don't want us to delineate, because when these people do crimes, the way they do visa frauds and do scams, like over there in Connecticut, they had a whole operation called Operation Nightingale. That means they catching all these fraudulent fake African and Caribbean nurses and doctors. They just called a few of them out there in Connecticut. I think like 3 or 4 of them. They started saying their names, talking about they're Nigerians. Like 5 or 6 years ago, they wanted saying this now, but they real mad because the delineation move, because people actually saying where they come from now. But that's all I got to say. I'm gonna drop down.
You know that's good, and I like the fact that you brought that up because a lot of people were talking some years ago. Some people say this today too, even though we know for a fact it's not true. But they'll be all like, the FBA stuff, that's only online. That's only online. Y'all are only online. People in real life don't call themselves FBA. All of this delineation stuff is online. But you're seeing this is not just an online thing. This is globally recognized. We don't got a whole bunch of Chinese people in our rooms listening to our lives and stuff. But they understand because the whole energy of everybody is starting to change. Everybody's starting to understand that this is the delineation of it. Everybody's starting to see this happening because we are real and what we do is real. So they're gaslighting online, but the world is changing and recognizing it.
Yeah, because that's what it was that out there in Japan though, because they used to have this program out there. Because I got people that's in the military out there, live out there for like 40, 50 years out there. They actually retired, actually moved out there, moved some of their family out there. They used to have this program out there that where foundational Black Americans used to go over there after they got the military service that they want to stay in Japan. They had this program in Japan that you could teach English out there, and they Japanese government would subsidize you, pay for your whole thing for like a year or two, set you up. And also, they used to have programs where you used to make people work at Sony and PlayStation. When them Africans got awarded at the Nigerians and them Indians from India, they said, okay, we gonna say we black American cosplayers them, so we get this done. So they started doing that just before the white delineation movement. That's what the people first military say in the 90s and the 80s. They start allowing a lot of Black Americans, foundation Black Americans, start going. They start cosplaying us, and then they start over abusing the system, start doing a whole bunch of fraudulent stuff. So the Japanese government had to end that program because of that, because these Africans and Indians would do a lot of fraudulent visa stuff. So they had to terminate end that program though. But now, since we delineated though the BS, people started to realize, understand, because this is an international app right here. People all over the world listen to this app, what we got to say though. So people actually listening though to the Foundation of Black America Grassroots, and it's causing a domino effect. And that's why these terrorists are real mad though, because they can't cosplay as us no more.
Yeah, we mess it up for them. They can't do that no more. And I appreciate you being over there and learning this knowledge. And this is empowering because this just verifies for us what we're saying, what we already know. It's just verification and confirmation of what we already know. So that is important. And it does help the morale of the movement as well, too. So thank you for what you're doing.
Also, one more thing, when I went up there to Canada, I went up there to Nova Scotia area. They actually, the Canadian people that said, yeah, we different. We had our own, Al told me, yeah, we had our own ethnogenesis, though. We're different, though. But it's saying, though, too, they saying, like, a lot of them West Africans over there go over there to the Nova Scotia area, cosplay as some Afro-Canadians over there, been on for generation. And then they saying, yeah, I thought y'all had an ethnogenesis, though, during the Harry Tubman Underground Railroad. But we completely different though. But you, even though you are descendants though, but you had a whole ethnogenesis, you a Canadian descent. We're not though, so they kind of understood it. I kind of broke it down to them. They kind of understood it. Same thing when I brought to Japan, like I forgot this island called the Hokkaido Islands. The Japanese over there, they pitch black over there, had Afros over there. They tell an origin story over there that they come from Africa. Like they had on ethnogenesis over there. They got their own culture over there. The Afro Japanese got Afros over there, the Hokkaido Islands and Sapporo areas over there. Because I went over to that region though. Them Japanese over there pitch black dark over there, just like the people in the Fiji Islands, the Samoan Islands, Hawaii though. They even tell you they had an origin story. So we not genetic Africans. We had a whole ethnogenesis, just like the Afro Brazilians. They're not telling Afro Brazilians that they're African though, because they know better though. They don't tell us that because they're obsessed with us. Because we the global influence of the whole world. That's why they want to tear onto our history, but we not allowing that no more.
It's true. It's true. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, brother. Let's get you Halo, and then we'll get to Omega, and then we'll start wrapping things up. We've been on here for a good minute, wrapping things up.
Good, what's good? My bad. I'm over here. Hold on. I'm on my other phone. Okay, damn. Y'all hear that? Hold on. Because I was over here mobbing. Well, anyways, yeah. Have y'all been seeing the them lives? Everybody's so triggered by us. Like, what we do?
Yeah.
Like, what we do? I mean, obviously we popping right now. We trending right now because obviously everybody's so triggered out the blue with us when we just living our best life. And the only thing we want to do is delineate and gatekeep, and that bothers people. I mean, everybody does it. Everybody delineates. I mean, everybody gatekeeps, and we ain't bothering nobody else. When they want to delineate, nobody is pressing them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I see that every time I'm strolling past, I'm seeing, yeah, because these FBAs, that's a fake term. I mean, why are you so worried about what we call ourselves? You ain't gotta, if you don't want to call yourself, then that's cool. But you ain't gotta slander nobody for wanting to use, you can't make nobody be a term that you want them to be. Like, I don't understand it. Like, and FBA is coming deep. Like, people are starting to see, and it's more and more people coming in because I can tell by the, new people coming on TikTok. It's like a whole bunch of them starting to come in. So, I mean, the more they slander us, the more, we grow. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I'm proud and ain't nobody gonna check me, so I really don't care. And they can keep on hating because and it's crazy because Tariq Live right now and all the tethers that used to be coming up on lives trolling is up there. They folding. So I had people on my live was talking ish and then got up there acting like a fan.
They sure was.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. And the thing is that this is something that happens all the time, no matter what subject I'm discussing, right? every time. Every time I have a live, no matter what subject I'm discussing, they be woofing in the chat room. Oh, you wrong. You a liar. You're ignorant. You this, you this, you this, you this.
Oh, you get up here
I
and
said,
switch
okay.
up.
I said, if you disagree, come up and we can have an adult, mature conversation about it. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to come up. 9 times out of 10, they don't. And then when they do come up, they be all like, well, first off, much respect to you. I love the way you handle. And oh, they switch up. They attitude is totally. They be woofing in the chat room, and then when they get up here, well, I
Yeah,
just
I
want
seen that
to
on here
say I
too. I seen
disagree
it.
with some of your talking points. You're very intelligent. I really don't want no smoke like that. They when they up to you, and it's a thing where you can go back and forth. They switch up and they be like, well, I just have a slight disagreement. Nah, that's not how they was. I'm like,
Yeah, they
yo,
was.
they be
You don't
switched
feel
up in the
good
chat
today, do
room.
you?
They want to lower our guards so we can
You got
feel
a little
bad for
cold.
them.
Huh?
You look like you got a little cold, don't you?
No, I don't know. It's dark. I have this. My sister got this for me, or she got this on a field trip, but the battery's kind of dying, so I took it out.
No, I was saying because it kind of sounded like you got a little hoarse or something. That's what I was like. It sounded like you a little sick or
I
something.
hope not. I don't think so. I don't feel that
Oh,
way. I
okay.
hope not.
1 minute, y'all.
Oh,
So Hunan has entered the chat and he says it's FBAK. What does the K stand for at the end? I know it's not unaliver, right? FBA unaliver. Is
don't
that
come up
what
in
that
here,
means,
hate.
y'all?
Don't come
Who
in
was in the chat room?
Don't come in
Hunan,
here, hate.
he
Yeah, that's what it means on the live. That's what actually what he's saying.
grow up, Hunan. Grow up.
Uh-oh.
So
Is that
anyway,
what it means? Because I don't think he's a. I don't think. I don't never see him come at nobody in that type of way. So I don't know if
no,
that's
well,
what
he
he
was
meant.
in another chat saying we better tell the American Indians this and better tell the American Indians that. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And then when you put it's FBAK, and I know that he's having problems with foundational Black Americans who will not tell the American Indians what he wants us to tell them. So I'm going to wonder why he's putting FBAK there, right? So he is somebody who has a platform. He's fairly new to some of us, right? So we were going in his room, but then he went out for
BX.
like, yeah, can you hear me? I do that all the time. I put my hand over the speaker and just be talking. It's comfortable. So Hunan has a platform and he's trying to heal the diaspora, but we are on delineation time, and he feels that we are punks, FBA, because of the American Indians, and we be letting them sun us.
Who's
What he doesn't understand is that I've been on this app for about 2 years. I have the main
the?
disruptors from the American Indians blocked. And I only go into American Indian
You,
rooms. Anyway, if he has a problem with
yeah, we're
American
not gonna be
Indians,
on too much longer. But
right,
if he
he
not
has to
wants to
tussle
come
with them,
up,
Afro. I can't tussle for him. I already did my tussling.
who
He
not? Do
got to
you want
go
to come
tussle
up?
with him.
Do
Yeah,
you want to
he
come
could
up?
bring
Yeah,
up. You can
he
bring
could
him up.
come
I'm
up
about to drop down.
Okay. All right.
because
Appreciate you.
I understand why he
In the
putting
meantime, we're
FBK
gonna
there.
get to Omega, but Hunan can come up if he wants to. I'm gonna
See,
send him the
he's
invite.
so
Don't.
gracious.
And
Me, I would have been like,
it'll just
word, he
be
said
me and
that.
you. It'll just be me and you. Don't worry.
That
No
means I got
Romulus
to
bully
mute.
you.
Okay.
It'll just be, we can say something. And after me and you go, then I'll let everybody else, we can holler in person. Let's talk in person. Where are you from?
See, see, he's acting like
Where
a
do you stay?
Haitian. He's acting like a tether
Hunan, where do you stay?
about
You
talking
talking about
person.
hollering in person. We can talk now. What is wrong with you? See,
He's acting like a
this is what
tether,
I'm
Afro.
saying. He's in the chat room saying stuff in the chat room. I said there's somebody who moved out of the way so you can come up and speak, and I'd be all like, well, actually, I want to talk in person. What's wrong with saying something now? You saying something in the chat room. You don't want to wait to say what you have
I
to say
think
in person to say it in the chat room, but you want to wait to say something in person to say something on the mic. Come on. Do you
I
see that?
think he's
You
a
see
little
that? And
sensitive right now
that
because
just
of what
proves my
happened
point. And I just
yesterday.
said it too.
We
I think
don't
he's a little
know.
sensitive
Halo, we weren't there. Why is he coming? I wasn't in that room, whatever
We
happened
because
don't like
yesterday.
face-to-face conversations. You in the chat room. You face-to-face don't bother you in the chat. You wolfing in the chat, and I see you on your own lives. So face-to-face don't bother you then, but you don't want to come up and say anything. That's cowardly, brother.
no, like they. So yesterday they doxed him and put his information up
Uh-oh.
and his picture up. And I guess he feeling some type of way about that.
Because I can is fabulous. You can't check me. Let me
All right.
tell you something.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're gonna get to Omega.
Okay, yeah, so we're gonna
Why?
ignore
What
that.
did he not
Okay.
do? What did Afro Elite do to you to even act like that?
You don't want me on your bubble,
Right.
dude. You don't want, especially you don't even want to come up and say anything. You don't want this attention that you're asking for. I'm trying to tell you that, but you kind of asking
I
for
mean,
That's
it.
crazy.
You don't want what you
actually
asking
wanted to have a conversation, and that's it. Like, I don't know what's going on. Why is he?
Have he
Uh,
has a presence on TikTok, right? But he's not on TikTok like how I'm on TikTok, where I mod for various rooms. He comes, he hosts his live, he leaves. He's not involved in any gossip or anything. He learns the gossip when he comes here to go live, and we tell him, like in this instance, right, Hunan? So Hunan, me and Afro Elite were not in that room when you were doxxed. We do not agree with doxing. We have had that happen to loved ones, such as Halo, and so we don't go around condoning doxing. I think that pent up aggression that you have, you need to take it to the people that actually dox you. While we are FBA and we stand on lineage business, we don't condone slackness, right? Meaning we don't condone doxing. But I think you're fighting with the wrong people, and that's the thing. You fight against the wrong people when we can actually be your mediator. But you coming in here talking about FBAK, but you won't even join the panel when I'm even going to go on mute. Okay? Because Afro Lee is very respectful, and I was going to mute him.
Yeah, we don't condone that. I don't know nothing about you being doxxed. I wouldn't condone, support. I'm not trying to justify you being doxxed at all. But you coming over here being a disruptor, and I've seen some of the content you make that I disagree with, but I don't really engage just to not cause problems. But you're coming here being a disruptor. And I'm telling you right now, that's not the move you want to make. Okay, let's get to Omega.
B1 family.
Like first, brother.
Yeah, man. I think really and truly, like this situation that you're saying is that FBA are kind of moving into what Dr. Clark spoke about in terms of the essential selfishness of survival, where we gotta really. It's not to be disparaging to anybody else, but it is to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We have to look out for our lineage. We have to make sure that we're not falling a victim to erasure. And we can't really, give a, excuse my language, but we can't really give a flip about the next person's feelings toward that. Because at the end of the day, our only agenda is to empower ourselves and remain on this planet. And for everybody that, get on these different lives and stuff, it's a free country, so you're definitely welcome to say whatever it is you want to say. But at the same time, if I don't tell you how to attack, you can't tell me how to retaliate. And I land my plane.
Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I like that. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Okay? They be starting stuff and then want to police other people's responses, and that's not how none work. Stuff don't work that way. That don't start nothing, won't be nothing. But I think we've had a good one. We wanted to be quick, kind of wrapping things up, so I guess we can give everybody a good minute or two to give their final word, and then we'll close it out for tonight.
Hey, that's perfect time. I was about to be like, let me go ahead and get them on up out of here. Go ahead. You can do the final thoughts. Go ahead.
You came on too late. I was just about to let you. Okay, I see you in the chat room, public. Come next time. Come next time. But I see you in the chat room all the time. But we do got to wrap things up. All right. So ZZ, go ahead, because ZZ got to go.
Yeah, I need to get in the shower, man. I gotta get up at 7 in the morning. Look, shout out to the FBA family. We are one. No matter what they say, we are one. We ain't got time for the bullshit. Of course, we're going to get detractors. Of course, they coming in and causing confusion. They've been using the same tactics. They're going to continue to use the same damn tactics. Confusion, chaos. They're going to blur the lines. Oh, it's FBA. It's not FBA culture. It's American culture. Oh no, it's not American culture. It's from African culture. Oh no, it's not this. It's not that. Oh, the N word doesn't mean this. It means that. Oh, it's not. So they're going to continue to flip out narratives to muddy down the movement, the power that is behind it. We can't let them do that. We're gonna keep staying on code. Shout out to the brothers and sisters that's on code and standing on FBA business or Sudan business or American Indian business. Hey, look, we all family. Shout out to the FBA diaspora. Okay. So we know this. We're not gonna allow them to water down what we're trying to do, and they can't stop it. Honestly, we always gonna bring it back to us a spiritual awakening as well. They cannot stop it. Maybe it's time. So yeah, we just gonna keep our foot in the gas, worry about ourselves, and get up on these reparations, and everybody else will follow suit as they always do because we the heads, baby. We are the honestly the cultural leaders of the world. So yeah, everybody will follow suit when they see what's really popping over here. Yeah, shout out to the family.
All right. Yep. Appreciate you. All right. Have a good day at work tomorrow. Everybody, let's bless her a good day at work tomorrow. Okay.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
She spent this time to make sure she was staying on code, and I know she got to be asleep. So let's appreciate her sacrifice. She's sacrificing hours of sleep for the movement.
See, I love y'all. I swear, I don't even mind. I love listening to the people. And I wanted to stay up here to hear what Halo had to say too. I ain't gonna even fake. Hey, Halo.
Okay. So let's now get you, Laya.
Oh yeah, speaking of reparations, I just heard that cuz I'm from California, so I guess Gavin Newsom signed something that will approve reparations out here, which is I guess a good start. And then once that happens, it's going to spread nationwide. You're going to see other states get on board to the same thing. So, it's
We'll
good.
look. That's good. That's good. We'll look into that because Gavin Newsom was the reason that the reparations thing was fumbled in the first place.
Yeah, it
So,
got vetoed like months ago. Yeah.
yeah, it could be. Gavin Newsom could be trying to get back good with the community. This could be a potential thing for a presidential run. Because he understands his black credibility is gone after the
Hmm.
reparations done. So he could be trying to fix that up. It could be a trick for the midterms even. So we'll look into that. I'm actually glad that you brought that up. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right. Melanie, any final words?
Yeah, great space. This is my first time being on TikTok with you guys. Nice to meet everyone on the panel. I love the movement. I love the fact that we are putting ourselves first. Having our ethnic pride is a beautiful thing. And my final words that I wanted to say is don't let these first and second generation immigrants or tethers project their ethnic insecurities onto us because they are culturally bankrupt and they don't understand what culture is for Black people. They're not really included into the white culture of America, the Black culture of America, nor the other ethnic cultures that's in America. So they're trying to force their way into our culture and erase us, which will never happen. And I'm just happy that we are getting more and more on code with these people because they are a nuisance everywhere that they go. And the fact that we are pointing it out and not allowing them to do it, now they want to cry and be Karens, like the white supremacist master that they worship. So I don't care about their feelings. I don't care about being inclusive to people who have no respect for us when we did include them. So my final words to them would be, you could kick rocks and deal with it because we are going to empower ourselves and move forward. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Hmm.
They're just going to have to accept it because it's not going to stop. Thank you very much for that. Omega, do you have any final words, brother?
Yeah, I go ahead and say something real quick. Yeah, man, we are in the age of consequences. Like all of these years leading up to this point has been basically a constant build up of frustration and us taking notes. And now the age of the internet allows, me being from Florida to match notes with people in various different regions. You know what I'm saying? And right now, what we're getting is like the consequences of that. Like, I'm really at a point where, I don't want to say forget all immigrants because we do got some riders out there. But at the same time, like, we really got to focus on ourselves. And that's the bottom line of it. So, that's pretty much it, man. And y'all have a good night, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. And let me say this to the writer, to the people who might be from immigrant background. There's no hate. It's all love. There's no hate. There's some that support me, support the movement, support everything that we got going on, who supported the rally and everything like that. Much respect to you. We got some good brothers and sisters out there from the diaspora. Much respect to them. We just have to understand and love ourselves enough to set boundaries. That's all I'm saying. We have to love our culture enough to set boundaries with everybody. That's all I'm saying. And if we do that enough, everything's going to fall in place. Everything's going to fall in place. Hey, I like you. You might be solid, but if we're speaking on reparations, then you just need to take a seat because you can't represent. Now, if there's some other thing that if we speaking on health or something like that, then or self-defense or something like that, and you have something important you want to add, okay, great. But now if we're speaking on like tangibles, reparations, policies or something like that, well, this isn't your time to step out the room, respectfully. Because even if we love them, there still has to be boundaries, and we have to love ourselves enough to establish these boundaries. That's what we got to do. All right, Brooke, do you have anything you like to say before we go?
Not really. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak and wanting me to speak because I was just going to be listening and, put my little notes in the chat. But I really do appreciate you guys always making a place for me and and the support you all have given us here in New York has been amazing. And if it wasn't for the family, this would be impossible. It would just be impossible. But I know with family like this by my side and I can reach out to and that I've met and I keep meeting, like Professor Copper says, it ain't over till we win. And like I said before, just to let anybody know, if you in my way, I will knock you down. My team will knock you down. We're not playing in New York. Don't think because it's not that many of us or because we not really vocal, we kind of the move in silence people in New York. Don't think because we don't be posting that we not out here doing and doing. And if you in my way, FBA or non-FBA, you will get knocked down. And thank you so much. Love you guys so much. I'm proud to be family with you guys. Have a good night.
You too. You too. I hope you join us again. You too. You have a good night.
Have a good night.
Halo, do you have anything?
What happened?
Um,
All right, slow down.
I'm over here eating.
I'm eating some crackers with
um,
you.
Anyways, no, I really don't got really much to say, but just showing support to the family, Just ignore these haters out here. You feel me, y'all? F all them. They mad. We trending. They in the back. Let them keep talking.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Love it. BX, can you close us out, please?
Afro, I gotta ask you, when's the next time you coming live on TikTok?
I wanna go live tomorrow afternoon. I do. Tomorrow around 3 o'clock your time.
3 will be fine. I have a 1:30 appointment, but I'll be finished by 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to say this: beautiful live, short, sweet, to the point. I love when it's just us and we get to talk. We didn't have too many disruptions, only one distraction. So I'm going to tell everybody this who's still in the room. Afro Elite does not keep up BS on this app, right? He does not keep up BS on YouTube. If you have a problem with foundational Black Americans who are on TikTok, you have to talk to those FBA, because half the time Afro is just like unaware that there's beef. I was unaware that Hunan was doxxed. I don't condone doxing. It has happened to Sister Halo, and I didn't agree with it then. So I would never dox you, especially if you came to me as the lineage. So I just want to say that for the most part, you could come up, you could, tell your grievance to Afro Lee. He will talk to you. If you want to debate, he will debate you. And he'll make sure that BX, I stay on mute. Okay. I may be cringing back here, but I'll stay on mute. But I think y'all got to start taking these issues up with the people that actually offend you, or else what you're doing is in vain. You're turning away people who could probably smooth things over for you, or just accept you as you are and kind of help you understand, because I believe you are new to TikTok. So I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have put FBA on there, because some of us take that very literal, very literal. So yeah, let's be mindful of Afro League doesn't keep up BS. When we talk on the back chat, it's always about a topic and what's going on with the people are saying. And I ask for advice on things such as who I can contact regarding reparations or anything that's going on in my area that may be hurting or harming our people if you're of the lineage. So I'm going to say that. Know who you're coming at. Know that. And know that Afro League does not condone doxing either. Correct,
That's
Afro?
that's very true.
So
I've
please
been
go to the
doxxed
people
before,
that
so I wouldn't condone that. We don't need to resort to that. This movement doesn't need to resort to leaking people's personal information,
right.
and I hope it doesn't.
So tomorrow I'll see you. To my foundational Black Americans, I love us for real. Peace, love, light, and reparation.
Good night, family.
Good night.